Madonna was in the middle of Like a Virgin when she spotted a woman in a full wedding dress in the crowd. She thought it was romantic until she saw the woman was crying. What happened next became the most viral moment of 2004, and the story didn't end there. It was February 14, 2004, Valentine's Day. At the Rose Bowl Stadium in Los Angeles, Madonna was performing her Re-Invention World Tour to 68,000 fans. The atmosphere was electric with romance, red and pink lights everywhere. But in row 13 sat a 29-year-old woman in a wedding dress who was living through the worst day of her life. Jennifer Hayes sat wearing a $3,000 wedding gown she'd saved a year to buy. Her professionally styled hair and makeup couldn't hide the tears streaming down her face. She looked perfect for a wedding, except she wasn't going to one. She was running from one. That morning, at 7:30 a.m., 90 minutes before her ceremony, Jennifer received a text from Robert, her fiancé of 3 years. "I can't do this. I'm sorry. There's someone else. I'm not coming." The church was booked. 200 guests were coming. Everything was ready, and the groom sent a text saying he was with someone else. Jennifer's world collapsed. Her mother sobbed. Her bridesmaids stood frozen. Her father tried calling Robert voicemail. They called the church to cancel. Everything Jennifer had planned for 6 months was gone. Jennifer's best friend Sarah found her still in the wedding dress an hour later, staring at nothing. "Jen, we need to get you out of that dress," Sarah said softly. No, Jennifer's voice was hollow. "I saved for a year for this dress. I'm not taking it off. I have Madonna tickets for tonight. Robert and I were supposed to go after the reception. I'm going anyway. I'm wearing this dress." Sarah tried to argue. This was insane. But Jennifer was determined. "I'm not staying home crying. I'm not giving him that. Are you coming?" So Jennifer went to Madonna's concert in her wedding dress. Sarah and 2 bridesmaids came with her. People stared as they found their seats. Some smiled, thinking it was romantic. Some looked confused. Jennifer ignored them all and tried to focus on the music, but she couldn't stop crying. Madonna was performing Like a Virgin with full energy when she spotted the woman in white. At first, she smiled. To a bride on Valentine's Day seemed festive. Madonna ad-libbed into the microphone. "Oh my God, we have a bride in the house." The crowd erupted. 68,000 people turned to look at Jennifer. People cheered and shouted congratulations. Jennifer's face burned with humiliation. She cried harder. That's when Madonna noticed something was wrong. Even from the stage, she could see this woman wasn't smiling. She was devastated. Madonna stopped singing mid-verse. The backing track continued for seconds before cutting out. The arena quieted. "Wait," Madonna said. "That bride, she's crying. Why is she crying on Valentine's Day?" Jennifer froze, unable to speak. But Sarah stood up and shouted to the stage. The wedding was canceled. This morning, the groom left her. 68,000 people gasped. He sent a text message saying he wasn't coming. Sarah's voice broke. She got ready for her wedding, and he just didn't show up. So she came here instead. The crowd reacted immediately. Women cried. Men booed the absent groom. Someone shouted, "What an asshole," and sections of the stadium erupted in agreement. Madonna stood frozen, processing. Then her expression shifted to fierce determination. "What's your name, honey?" Madonna called out. "Jennifer," Sarah answered. "Jennifer," Madonna repeated. "That man who left you this morning is an idiot." "Actually no, he's worse than an idiot. He's a coward." The crowd roared in agreement. "Jennifer, I want you to come up here, right now. Security, bring her on stage." Jennifer shook her head, trying to refuse, but Sarah and the bridesmaids were already helping her up. Security appeared to escort her to the stage stairs. "Bring the dress train too," Madonna instructed. "If she's going to be on this stage, she's going to look like the queen she is." The walk from row 13 to the stage felt like miles. Security guards helped Jennifer navigate the stairs, making sure her dress train didn't get caught. People reached out to touch her hand, to offer words of encouragement. Women were crying. Men were shouting support. "You're beautiful. You deserve better." his loss. We love you, Jennifer. By the time Jennifer reached the stage, she was sobbing so hard she could barely see. Madonna met her at the top of the stairs and immediately pulled her into a hug. The embrace was genuine, tight, protective. Madonna held Jennifer like she was a sister, a friend, someone who mattered. And for the first time since 7:30 that morning, Jennifer felt like maybe she wasn't completely alone. Madonna pulled back and looked at Jennifer's face, wiping tears from her cheeks. "Tell me what happened," Madonna said softly, holding the microphone between them so the crowd could hear. Jennifer's voice shook as she spoke. "I was supposed to get married this morning, at 9 a.m., but at 7:30, my fiancé texted me and said he wasn't coming, that there was someone else, so I didn't know what to do. I was already in this dress, and I couldn't take it off, so I came here instead." The crowd erupted in sympathetic sounds, a mixture of anger at the groom and support for Jennifer. "How long were you together?" Madonna asked. 3 years. "And he broke up with you by text message on your wedding day?" "Yes." Madonna turned to face the crowd. "Ladies and gentlemen, can we all agree that this man is a piece of garbage?" 68,000 people booed and shouted in agreement. Madonna turned back to Jennifer. "Okay, here's what we're going to do. You got dressed up in this beautiful wedding dress. You did your hair and makeup. You showed up. You were ready to make a commitment. And just because that coward couldn't do the same, doesn't mean this dress goes to waste." Jennifer looked confused. "What do you mean?" "Jennifer," Madonna said with a mischievous smile, "you're going to have a wedding today after all. Right here, right now, in front of 68,000 witnesses. What? We're going to marry you to the most important person in your life, yourself." The crowd went wild. Women were screaming. The energy in the stadium shifted from sympathetic to celebratory. "I don't understand," Jennifer said. "You were ready to make vows today, right? To promise love, honor, and commitment? So make those vows, but make them to yourself. Promise to love yourself. Promise to honor yourself. Promise to honor yourself. Promise to never settle for someone who doesn't see your worth." Tears streamed down Jennifer's face, but for the first time all day, they weren't tears of devastation. They were tears of something else, relief, maybe, or hope. Madonna turned to address the crowd. "Okay, everyone, you're all guests at Jennifer's wedding now. I need you to be quiet and respectful, because this is a real ceremony." The stadium fell silent. 68,000 people waited. Madonna took Jennifer's hands in hers and spoke clearly into the microphone so everyone could hear. "Jennifer Hayes, do you take yourself to be your lawfully wedded self?" Jennifer laughed through her tears. "I do." "Do you promise to love yourself, even when it's hard?" "I do." "Do you promise to honor yourself, to respect yourself, to never let anyone make you feel less than you are?" "I do." "Do you promise to know your worth, even when others don't see it?" Jennifer's voice was stronger now. "I do." "Do you promise to never settle for someone who doesn't deserve you?" "I do." "Do you promise to celebrate yourself, to invest in yourself, to build a life that makes you happy, with or without a partner?" "I do." The crowd erupted in cheers. "Then by the power vested in me by being Madonna," she said with a grin, "I now pronounce you committed to yourself. You may kiss your hand." Jennifer laughed and kissed her own hand, and the stadium exploded with applause, cheers, and screams. Madonna sang "Crazy for You" acoustically, as Jennifer walked across the stage like a bride down an aisle. The crowd sang along quietly. When Jennifer reached center stage, the entire stadium gave her a standing ovation. Madonna handed Jennifer the microphone. "Is there anything you want to say?" Jennifer looked at 68,000 people. "Robert, if you're watching, thank you. Thank you for showing me I deserve someone who shows up. Thank you for making me realize my worth." The stadium exploded. It was the most empowering moment many had witnessed. After the show, Madonna gave Jennifer an incredible gift: a 2-week trip to Paris, all expenses paid, first class everything. "You were supposed to have a honeymoon," Madonna said. "Take one, alone. Go to Paris. Fall in love with yourself." In Paris, Jennifer spent days at a small art gallery in Montmartre. The manager, David Laurent, a French-American man with kind eyes, noticed this woman who came daily, sometimes crying softly, while looking at paintings. One day he approached. "Are you okay?" Jennifer told him everything. The wedding, the text, Madonna, this trip to find herself. David listened without judgment. "That takes courage, coming here alone." They talked every day. David told her about paintings. Jennifer shared her life, no pressure, no agenda, just connection. On her last day, David asked to write to her. She said yes. They wrote letters for a year before David moved to Los Angeles. He proposed 6 months later, February 14, 2009. Madonna was performing at the Rose Bowl Stadium again. In the crowd, a woman in a wedding dress appeared with a man in a suit, holding a sign, "Madonna, we're getting married because of you." Madonna's crew spotted them and brought them backstage. When Madonna walked in and saw Jennifer, she recognized her immediately. The bride. "You're back. I'm back. And this is David." Jennifer explained everything. Paris. Meeting David at the gallery. How they'd written letters for a year. How he'd proposed. "We wanted you to be part of our story. You taught me I had to love myself before I could love anyone else." Madonna looked at David. "And you're not going to send a text and disappear?" David laughed. "I'm here. I'm not going anywhere." Madonna made a decision. "Cancel your ceremony tomorrow. You're getting married tonight. During my show. On stage." That night, Madonna stopped her concert again. She brought Jennifer and David on stage. Jennifer in a new elegant dress, David in a tailored suit. Madonna, who had obtained an efficient license for this moment, performed an actual legal ceremony in front of 70,000 people. 5 years ago, I married Jennifer to herself on this stage. Tonight, I'm marrying her to someone who actually deserves her. The ceremony was beautiful. Jennifer and David exchanged vows they'd written. They exchanged rings. Madonna said, "By the power vested in me by the state of California, and by being Madonna, I now pronounce you husband and wife." David kissed Jennifer. 70,000 people cheered. Madonna sang "Crazy for You" as their first dance on stage. Videos of both weddings have been viewed over 200 million times combined. Jennifer and David started the Broken Engagement Healing Project in 2011, providing support for people whose engagements ended. The organization has helped over 8,000 people. Every Valentine's Day, they host self-love ceremonies, where people make vows to themselves, just like Jennifer did in 2004. Jennifer and David are still married today, 21 years after the canceled wedding, 16 years after the stage wedding. They have 2 daughters named after Madonna songs. Jennifer became a wedding planner specializing in helping people whose weddings didn't go as planned. "I understand what it's like when your day falls apart," she tells clients. Every year on February 14th, Jennifer wears her original wedding dress and posts photos with the caption, "This dress doesn't represent a failed wedding, it represents the day I learned my worth." Madonna could have ignored a crying woman in a wedding dress. She could have continued her song and moved on. Instead, she stopped everything and created a moment of healing in front of 68,000 witnesses. Jennifer could have stayed home that day, hidden under covers, and cried alone. Instead, she put on that expensive dress and showed up for herself when no one else did. Sometimes our worst days redirect us toward our best lives. Sometimes the wedding doesn't happen. Sometimes people don't show up. But sometimes, if we're brave enough to show up for ourselves anyway, the falling apart is actually the falling into place. Madonna stopped her show for Jennifer Hayes twice. Once to help her love herself, once to help her marry someone who deserved her. But really, Jennifer saved herself by being brave enough to show up in that dress and claim her worth in front of thousands of strangers. The story reminds us, your worth isn't determined by who shows up for you. It's determined by whether you show up for yourself. If this story of heartbreak, healing, and hope moved you, make sure to subscribe and hit that thumbs up button. Share this video with someone going through a breakup or anyone who needs to be reminded to show up for themselves. Have you ever had something fall apart that turned out to be a blessing? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to ring that notification bell for more amazing true stories about the heart behind music's greatest legends.